Well, we've got Justin Smith, columnist and broadcaster and author, as ever joining us from the wonderful city of Melbourne. Good to see you again, Justin. And on the desk here with me, we've got Sky News contributor James Bolt. Let's get your thoughts first up, gentlemen, about the events in New York City. And we've got to start off with this wonderful image. It'll gladden the hearts of people around the world, of course. The selfie posted by our own Prime Minister, proving, I think he's ducked down to Madame Tussauds there, hasn't he, Justin, just to pretend he's caught up with... No, he's very, very keen to show the world that he did manage to catch up with Trump face to face. He obviously hasn't got as much teeth whitener as Donald Trump, but they did get to meet, however fleetingly.
Although he doesn't have as much tan either, although I might mention that nobody in the known universe has as much tan as the Orange Prince or that particular shade. I've got to say this, though. I don't think, gentlemen, that I've ever, and help me out here, I don't think I've ever seen Anthony Albanese look happier than he does at that particular moment. Even when he won the last election, he didn't actually look that happy. There was so much pressure on him to finally say, look, it's almost like those hostage proof of life photos. Yeah. You know, he said, look, I do actually know him and he knows me as well. It's an extraordinary shot, isn't it?
It is.
Look at that. You can't.
And given a large part of the reason Albanese won a second term is because he so successfully associated the coalition with Trump, James. If I was Andrew Hurst at Liberal Party headquarters, I'd be looking at getting billboards made up of Albo with Trump.
Can't you hear the collective cringe from every single Labor backbencher? I mean, Donald Trump is the enemy. This is the scourge of the free world, the man that's destined to destroy Australia with tariffs and bring on all these culture wars. And there's Albanese. There's Albanese. Hey, this is my guy. I mean, I'm like Justin, I'm surprised he didn't make Donald Trump hold up a copy of the day's newspaper.
Yeah. I just feel sorry for that waitress with a tray of 6 glasses of punch that Albo knocked over trying to get to Donald Trump for that photo. No, I just made that story up. That didn't happen as far as I'm aware. But let's have a look at this other bit of Albo where there was this amazing exchange with Latika Burke from the 7 Network over what access Anthony Albanese had to Donald Trump's mobile phone. Have a look.
During the election campaign, you said on the 7th debate that Donald Trump didn't have a mobile. Since then, we've seen...
I did not say that. I did not say that. Don't verbal me, but yeah.
Well, what do you think he said?
Well, I didn't say that.
I didn't say that, he said. I did not say that Donald Trump didn't have a mobile phone, but, well, here's what he said.
Just quickly, you got his number? You texting?
No, I'm not sure that he has a mobile phone, the US president.
There you go. Well, was he caught out there? Was he not speaking the truth? He changed his tune halfway through the answer. And he said, I didn't say that about 4 times, and then said, well, if I did say it, I was joking.
Yeah, just reaching through the memory box like... Oh, no. But honestly, like, that is just so Albanese, just the thin-skinned way he treats reporters. Like, it's just so combative. And to think on such a day of success for him, he's still just got that quick trigger anger the second a reporter gets under his skin. It's weird.
Yeah, Justin, I don't think anybody who was ever on Twitter, now called X, could ever have questioned the fact that Donald Trump had instant access to a mobile phone 24/7.
Yes. Or somebody following him around with one, taking dictation, although we do know that it came from Trump. You know, I'm glad to hear that you guys sticking up for reporters. You weren't so keen last week when Donald Trump was going after John Lyon. So it's nice to hear that you're sticking up for the reporters here. But what is it about these world leaders being so
I would stick up for Latika Burke over John Lyons any day of the week.
Okay. But, you know, they've become so touchy, honestly, with Trump last week and with Albanese in that clip we just watched there. Come on, you're going to get questions you don't like. It's going to happen. Yeah. It's part of the gig. If you didn't know that was going to be part of the gig, you may have to go and find another job to do, because that's just what it is. You might get asked questions. You might even think they're stupid questions sometimes, but that's the job.
It sure is. Now, let's go to free speech and more on this, because the Human Rights Commission, the Australian Human Rights Commission, a body that really shouldn't exist anymore given what it's done over the years, it's now looking, making submissions to try and control what we say and hear, therefore, about climate change. It says, climate-related misinformation and disinformation impacts Australia's ability to respond effectively to climate change. False narratives distort public understanding, erode trust in science and institutions, and delay urgent climate action. And they say while regulation is necessary, it must not come at the expense of freedom of expression. Give me a break. Let me give you the strong tip, James. They are not talking about getting rid of all the exaggeration and fear-mongering about how climate's going to kill us all. They want to try and shut down people who are expressing sceptical views.
And the giveaway is in that quote. Anything that stops the urgent climate action is apparently misinformation.
Exactly.
So anything that's not an exaggeration of the claims can be seen as misinformation. But this is something that elites, they get to the first part of the sentence that they should be getting to, and then they go quiet. They should say the quiet part loud, which is, we need to crack down on misinformation because we think you're too stupid to figure out what the difference is between information and misinformation. And we should hold elites like the AHRC to account when they say what they really mean when they talk about misinformation.
Yeah, spot on. And James's point is so on point there, Justin. They give it away by saying that they're all about urgent action. Nothing can delay urgent action. So they're so hyper-political, and they're showing they're only coming at this from one side of the argument.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be agreeing with you on anything to do with climate change, but
there you go. The facts will get you every now and then.
And I had a look through the... Yeah, that's right. Oh, well, no, it's not the facts of climate change. But looking through these recommendations, I don't see what it does for debate. And I don't see what it really does for people who believe that climate change is real and something needs to be done. It just doesn't help. I'm really not sure what the report is about. Now, look, no one wants misinformation or disinformation about anything. I think the three of us would agree. If somebody is lying about something, whether it's climate change or anything else, that's disinformation, and we don't want it anymore. But I just don't see what this report from the Human Rights Commission actually does for debate. What does it do for debate?
Call out the lies, correct them. Call out the lies and correct them. That's what you've got to do. We're going to quickly move on to this because I want to get through it.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
Jimmy Kimmel, of course, as you know, in the US, had his show scrapped last week because he said this about Charlie Kirk.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
That's part of what he said. Now, people dress this up as some sort of a free speech issue. He became the victim and they put him back on air just now. And listen to this apology. He seems to be pretending he said something different.
It was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man. I posted a message on Instagram on the day he was killed, sending love to his family and asking for compassion, and I meant it, and I still do. Nor was it my intention to blame any specific group for the actions of what it was obviously a deeply disturbed individual. That was really the opposite of the point I was trying to make.
James, he denied saying what he said.
That's not an apology. An apology is, I'm sorry for what I said. An apology is not, I'm sorry you feel that way. Very important distinction.
Quick word, Justin.
Oh, I'm no fan of Jimmy Kimmel. I'd rather visit a friend in hospital than watch him on TV. But the whole thing has just been a circus. Let's not cloud what really happened here, which was we had the government bodies and Trump trying to shut down a political enemy. That's the real circus in all this.
We are right out of time. I disagree entirely with that. I thought it was dumped because what he said was horrible. But he's back now, so everyone can be happy.